Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Bohemian Path Tarot and your 2024 year ahead reading. I'm Jen, and today we're using the Star Seekers Tarot. That's that one. I got it on Etsy. I don't get any kickback for mentioning it, but I just like it, and I think a lot of viewers like to know which deck I'm using. So I'm going to shuffle the deck and focus on your messages and forecast. And I will see you on the other side of the shuffle. Okay, Taurus. Let's lay out your Celtic cross and see what's ahead. So we start with the Ten of Swords. Five of Wands is in the challenge position. The past is Justice. Recent past, Five of Pentacles. Oh, what's ahead is the Ten of Cups. What a relief. And the Eight of Pentacles. Advice, Ace of Pentacles. Environment, Nine of Pentacles. Hopes and fears, Five of Swords. And the final outcome is the Ace of Swords. Well, Taurus, my dear, it looks like you have been through it. So let's make these more visible here and go through your reading here. So starting with the Ten of Swords, that's the end of an unpleasant chapter or cycle or series of events. So there may still be a little processing, or you're still kind of grieving something or recovering from the loss of something. But the good news is with that ending, of course, comes a new beginning. And I'm seeing that a lot in this particular reading. And the challenge position is the Five of Wands, which typically indicates a kind of chaotic chapter. It's pretty appropriate for Mercury retrograde times when, signals get crossed and messages get waylaid or misunderstood, and everybody thinks somebody else is in charge, or everybody thinks they're in charge, and there's confusion and chaos and a little bit of drama. So navigating this sort of, it feels like holiday drama, it feels like that sort of thing, while you're also grieving or dealing with the ending of something. That's a challenging time, but better times are ahead. So in the past, we have justice. Justice sometimes comes up at the end of a relationship, like a divorce, or at the beginning of a relationship, like a contract with a new job. So I think for some of you, it may be that, the end of a relationship or in needing to mediate or negotiate property or terms or something like that. But for others, it may be the beginning of a contract or renegotiating a contract. In the past, you've had to revisit some contract issues. And in the more recent past is the Five of Pentacles, which usually indicates a time of low resources. I see this come up sometimes with finances or, not having enough time to do all the things you need to do. This also comes up sometimes when somebody is sick, when you've been working so hard that you kind of work yourself into a cold or something like that. It's not an indicator of future maladies or big things. It's just a kind of a low resource time. And there's kind of a suggestion here to reach out for help. If you need to borrow money or sleep on someone's couch for a little while, or, ask someone to pick you up some cold medicine from the drugstore, something like that. But this is a waning influence, so it looks like you're moving out of this kind of phase where you feel like you don't have enough or you need a little help, kind of a thing, and into a more productive, a more connected time. Here we have another 10, which is kind of the opposite of the 10 of Swords here. And this is in your position of the kind of general theme for 2024, the general vibe. The 10 of Cups is a feeling of connectedness, a feeling of having a tribe, having people you can rely on, having loved ones, having supportive relationships, knowing you're a part of something that's bigger than you, and enjoying the sharing those connections, sharing that feeling of connectedness with others, like other people feel your warmth and you feel connected to you, and value that, treasure that. And then in the kind of more specific event coming up, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is most times a card about work, about really putting yourself into your work, or sometimes it's a passion project, something that you're crafting, that you're putting together, but it's about your skill. It's about being invested in your work, being invested in your craft, being invested in perfecting kind of what you do. So if you're a student, this could even be, throwing yourself at your studies and really digging deep, next semester, and putting yourself into that job. If you're retired, this could also be the kind of thing where you join a community or a group, like a community theater, or maybe you're doing some work with a dog rescue program or something like that, and really putting yourself into that effort, really investing in that and feeling rewarded by what you're putting in to what you're doing. Whereas, again, it's kind of a different phase than over here, where you didn't feel like you had enough and you didn't feel like you were being rewarded or recognized. This is kind of the opposite, feeling invested in your work, and that feeling a sense of purpose and valuing that sense of purpose with this project or job or whatever it is. Now, in the position of advice, or what you're working on or what to think of, we have what to reflect on, I should say. We have the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is one of those new beginning cards, whereas we've had, some tens, which indicate endings that lead to new beginnings. We've got a couple of aces coming up here, which are very much new chapters, and it's going to feel really fresh, probably very different from this. This is a slower moving energy, but this is about kind of in line with that, investing in your work, investing in a passion project, investing in, this could even be like a home-based business that you do on the side, or that you transition into. This could be, like a hobby, or something that allows you to put yourself into it, that also starts to provide more than just, a way to kill time. It starts to give you purpose and, even payment, like maybe it's that Etsy store, or YouTube channel finally takes off, or something like that. This could also just be, for some people, just a new job or a new position at your workplace that is more fulfilling, and that it really feels like a fresh new chapter. And the fact that it's in your advice position here suggests that you should embrace this new opportunity. Say yes to a new opportunity. If you get invited to start a new project, or you see a way that you can make your side hustle more seen, if you are invited to something at work, like a promotion or something, go ahead and say yes, and look for ways that you can really start that new chapter in your environment. This echoes, kind of this other stuff too. The Nine of Pentacles is the card of, kind of the comfortable hobbyist. It's that feeling of having enough that allows you to explore some other sides of yourself that maybe you didn't have time or resources for before. This is kind of something that may be separate from maybe what your family sees you or knows you as, or a solitary project. Could be at work, but more of a hobby or a creative passion. But whatever you're doing over here with this new chapter seems to give you more time, more freedom, more just sort of breath and headspace to explore some other hobbies, to invest in some other things that give you pleasure. In the hopes and fears category, we see the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is usually a card that comes up when something hasn't gone to plan and you're kind of reflecting on what went wrong or what could I have done better or what did I miss. This suggests that, whatever you've been working on or whatever feels like may have been lost or missed in some way, it's just a matter of information. It's just a matter of better reconnaissance or asking more questions or reading the fine print. There's something that's available to you that is not, on first glance, it might feel like a loss, but it's just an opportunity to edit or fix something that didn't have a strong foundation. And it's in the area of information, communication, written documents, contracts, or email communication, DMs, something like that. Of course, I mentioned before, with the Five of Wands, with this Mercury retrograde time, so often we can miss messages or, messages get waylaid because of, systems go down, or even travel delays that can cause some frustration in resolving that sort of thing. But this isn't anything to that's a permanent position, of course. This is just the reminder to, if something hasn't gone quite to plan, just reread the directions or recheck your emails. Look for where maybe the misunderstanding or the missed information got in the way of a successful outcome. And in our final card here for the outcome is the Ace of Swords, which indicates a new chapter in the area of communication and connection through or verbal communication or social media. How you present yourself to the world, how you speak about yourself, how you share yourself. So this might be a great time or a year where you really develop your social media presence, or you really find your brand for whatever reason. It could just be sharing, your pictures of your grandkids or the things you knit for your grandkids or something like that. Or it could be really directly like branding yourself for influencing. For some people, this might even be just straight out writing, putting your novel together or a play or songwriting or something. But there's the element of communication, communicating your knowledge, communicating yourself, your brand, and, clarifying who you are and making sure your message lands to the audience you are seeking or looking to connect with. So to sum it up, it looks like we start in kind of a tired and maybe burnt out place. Not a big surprise this time of year, right? But it does suggest there's been some kind of a loss or something that didn't go to plan, that may have even had to go to the courts or mediation, or even just a renegotiation of relationship terms. But you're moving into a phase where you're going to feel absolutely the opposite of loss, where you're going to feel connected and cherished. Uh, and you're going to cherish the connections you have and really feel like part of a tribe or part of a community. There's also the investment in work or a passion project that is very fulfilling and leads to a whole new chapter in terms of just what you value and how you value yourself and how you express that. Oh, wow. Taurus, this is a really lovely reading. I hope it gives you some comfort, some clarity, maybe some options, some things to think about as the new year turns. But in any case, thank you so much for dropping by. Take good care and Happy New Year.